Crime Curious is a true crime podcast that takes an in-depth look into real cases through the lens of a trained investigator and former prosecutor turned judge.
If you are sensitive to expletives, anatomical descriptions, and accurate descriptions of crime scenes, this podcast may not be suitable for you.
Welcome to Crime Curious. I'm Charnell.
I'm Megan.
Let's shake all of the good luck gree-gree to get this episode started off right.
Chaz fell over.
Thank you for everyone who has sent us fun gree-gree to shake at the beginning. Okay, my friend.
Yes.
Are you ready for an unsolved
You do this to me.
case?
Does my soul seem to you like I can handle an unsolved case right now? I need closure in my life.
I know. No, your soul doesn't say that.
But I'm going to take this anyway. And just so that you don't worry, audience members, the closure is in that my beautiful oldest daughter is getting married in 4 weekends, less than 4 weeks. And it's very stressful.
Yes.
And you felt my energy when I came in and were like, are you okay? I'm like, I legit am okay. I'm just very stressed, but very happy at the same time. So it's a weird stress.
It is. It's the only type of stress that anyone who's been through this can understand before.
Yeah,
but you had the look of, it's been wedding season for me for a while. I had 2 weddings in a row these past weekends, and you just had the look of the mother of the bride that's trying to make sure everything is perfect for your baby.
I'm trying.
And we decompressed for about 45 minutes before we started today. Yes.
Well, anyway, the short answer is, of course, I want to hear an unsolved case because that means there's some soul out there that also doesn't have closure, and we need to speak their names into the world.
I know. And also, as always, if you have any information about this case that we covered today, contact the proper authorities that I will tell you to contact, because that's always our hope in doing unsolved cases, that they could perhaps someday find a resolution. Let me tell you about the beautiful Karina Holmer. She was actually born September 7th, 1975 in Sweden.
Oh, she's Swedish.
She
I bet
is
she was
Swedish.
Beautiful.
Oh, she is.
I've never met an ugly Swede.
I know. It's really unfair, actually. Her father, Ola Holmer, admired her for her adventurous spirit, which we will see comes into play very much in this case, and the way that she embraced living life. Growing up, she grew up in a small town that I can't pronounce. Y'all,
But will you try?
Not even a little bit.
Oh, come
It's
on.
too many J's and too many G's.
Can I see it?
And I don't even have it written down.
She's like, I'm not even putting it in the notes.
I didn't, because it was literally like JJOGGE NJG. Now you understand.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Nailed it.
I absolutely couldn't even pretend.
J-Town, Sweden.
And I know all of you really enjoy it when I butcher where people are from.
I know I do.
Or misspeak. For those of you that don't, make sarcastic comments about it, but I couldn't even attempt it. That's why I was like, she's born in Sweden.
Like it.
We just need to know she's a beautiful Swede.
She's Swedish.
She is. And she did grow up in a small town. And so she had that wanderlust. She dreamt of exploring the world and making the most of her opportunities.
I still have plans.
Right. Yes. Now, in March 1996, which is when the year this case takes place, she was 20 years old, and she lived in Skillingard. I will at least try that
Good
one.
job. It's
Sweden.
very Viking of you.
I tried. That one I'm willing. But where she was born, no, absolutely not. Something happened that would change her life and its course forever. She bought a lotto ticket, and with it, she won 10,000 crowns, which is the equivalent of, at that time in 1996, $1,500 US.
Nice.
On a lotto ticket.
Okay.
So
she's going to travel.
She is. Okay. She knew, because back then in 1996, you could travel on $1,500.
You sure could.
You cannot today.
You might even be able to get a 2-person all-inclusive for that at that point.
$1,500 of US dollars in today's world won't buy you shit for travel, hardly at all. No.
Maybe one airplane ticket.
That's actually a really sad truth.
It is.
That it's so hard for families to be able to travel. It is ridiculous.
As soon as I can master driving my Suburban over the Atlantic Ocean, I should be all set.
Let's just build that bridge.
And,
build that bridge over the ocean.
And new to the studio, we have...
Jesus, he scared the actual crap out of me.
Well, you almost pet his jump, too, because you put your hand out and he was about walking into it. I almost saw a voluntary molestation.
I am so sorry about that. My Gumby arms almost assaulted you when you came in. I saw him just out of the corner of my eye come into the studio, and it absolutely derailed me. My soul.
You didn't miss much. We're talking about Karina.
Oh, yeah. Hey, so Brain Bath Jason, he was a little late. He had a chiropractor appointment. It's fine. He's fine.
Everything's fine.
Oh,
you weren't here for us to fill it.
Yeah.
We'll get it filled. And while we're filling it, I'm just going to catch you up briefly. We're talking about beautiful Karina from Sweden in a town that she cannot pronounce, who has wanderlust and was just lucky enough to win the equivalent in about 1996 of $1,500, and she's going to plan to travel with it.
Yep.
That's where we are.
And that is 5 minutes in, my friend, that is all you missed. So you are up to speed now. She wants, with that $1,500 US dollars equivalent. It was 10,000 crowns, but 1,500 US dollars.
I would take 1,500.
Yeah. You're not gonna travel to Sweden with it, but she wants to travel to the US and start a new adventure. She's 20 years old. She connected with an agency that specializes in placing young women as au pairs.
Okay.
So
in
trafficking.
the U.S.
It made me worried for a moment.
No, it's not trafficking. Do you know what an au pair is?
Yes.
Yes. So she's gonna
Charnell,
nanny.
you have to admit that a company that places foreign nannies could potentially be a risk.
100%. Yes, I would. Especially in '96, I'm not going to deny that. But she really was going to be an au pair, and so she puts in her application, and her response comes quickly, and she is soon placed with a family in Dover, Massachusetts.
Oh, she's coming here.
Never been.
Of course she is. No wonder she's missing and it's unsolved. She came to the U.S. to live a better life.
She did. Well, she just wanted to visit. I do want to make this distinction because this is something that came up in the research a lot. She wasn't moving here. She wanted an adventure. And so how can she experience the U.S.?
Dover, Massachusetts.
Foreign
That's
exchange
on top of my
nanny.
list.
Foreign exchange nanny.
Yes, that's what she is, a foreign exchange nanny. And it's a very affluent area.
Of course it is.
Right? So
Because they hired a Swedish nanny.
they did.
Au pair.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep. And she is just essentially visiting, but she has to work to be able to afford, right, to be able to visit. So this was her way of kind of satisfying that wanderlust, but not intending on moving here permanently.
Okay.
Certainly not intending on dying here either. Spoiler
I was just going to
alert,
say,
permanently.
Did I miss that part?
Yeah. Well, she is the Vic. This is what the case is about. Yes, it's
I figured.
Karina. You're welcome to a true crime podcast where we actually don't spread good news
God.
here.
We're here to
Someone's
ruin
gonna
your
die.
day.
Yeah. So she's quickly placed in Dover, Massachusetts, and she goes in March 1996. She catches a flight to Boston to the United States to take on her new adventure. Her employer was Frank Rapp. He was a well-known photographer, hence the affluent area.
But
And
he took some pictures.
we'll get to it. And his wife, Susan Nitcher, might be Nietzscher. Sorry, it's okay. I answered myself. You like how I do that a lot, by the way.
I'm glad you approve of yourself.
Yes.
You should.
I forgive me.
I'm sorry.
forgive me.
Right, I do. I forgive me. She was a
That needs to be on a T-shirt.
I forgive me. Susan Nietzscher worked as a painter. So obviously for them to be able to be living in Dover, Massachusetts and afford an au pair, they are doing well.
He must be doing well because painters don't. She gets to live out her best artistic dreams.
Yeah, but I get
They're not famous till they're dead.
I
It's
get
true.
I get the
There are
impression
some
that
shit
she
There's
was
till
some
they
live
die.
ones. There was some that were famous alive.
she was talented, is from my understanding. Now, Karina seemed to thrive in her new role. She was caring for Susan and Frank's children and getting the weekends to enjoy her time to explore her surroundings, a majority of the weekends. I mean, probably not every weekend, but she is easy because of her outgoing personality. She makes friends very easily. So she makes close friends, and she's 20 years old. They are going to Boston and partying on the weekends, you guys.
She's having a blast.
Yes. And this
I do
is
like a Boston accent
this
too. So
is-
you know she's down there at
yes!
bars and they're like hot Swedish chick and she's like cute Boston accent.
100%. Like this is just a beautiful story until it's not.
Right.
Right? On the night of June 21st, so she comes in March, so she's only been here for 3 months. She's made friends. She has an active social life. And we're going to go to June 21st, 1996. She makes plans with her friends to go to a bar in Boston called Zanzibar.
Okay.
And she had a fake ID. And she passed very easily for 21 years old because she's Swedish.
Right.
So she's tall and gorgeous, right?
Oh, yeah.
Curvy. Mm-hmm. Yes, Jason.
Thank you for showing us exactly what we meant.
If this was a video podcast, everybody would be like,
I
yep.
assume this is general audience.
It
at
is
the
general.
beginning.
It
All right.
is general audience, yes. So Zanzibar wasn't an unfamiliar spot for Karina, all right? And after spending some time there that night on June 21st, her friends just kind of start leaving. She's having a great time, but her friends start disseminating. They're either tired, ready to go home, or hooking up with someone. Who knows? I don't know, but they leave her.
Right.
Okay. And they're all like 20, between the age of 20 and whatever. I didn't get the ages of her friends, so I'm not even going to pretend to know, but I think that it's reasonable to say that they're probably all in their 20s. She stayed behind, and she was actually last seen leaving Zanzibar around 3 a.m. And this is the last time anybody sees Karina.
I hate it.
Mm-hmm. She wasn't scheduled to work on this weekend, and she didn't have plans the next day. This was a Friday night. She did not have plans the next day on Saturday, except probably to nurse a hangover if the night went well, right? And so unfortunately, no one reports her missing because no one has discovered that she's missing yet. She wasn't scheduled to work again until Monday. Well, 2 days later, on Sunday, June 23rd, there was a man sifting through a trash can.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Insert just the wah here.
Oh, no.
And they stumble upon a heavy bag in Fenway, Boston, around Fenway Park. Yes, the Fenway Park. When he opened it, he discovered a dismembered torso, including the hands.
I hate this. This reminds me of a case that I covered in Canada.
It's probably not even that weird for people in Boston.
They're like, oh, a torso.
Like the garbage in Boston, like, how many bodies did you find today?
I'm only going to call the cops this time because they put the hands there, and that's weird.
The man was like, yeah, I think I better contact the police. So he does.
Good.
They are able to identify her as Karina. But there's something very unusual about this.
Her head is gone.
She has a head. And
so she is
shoulders,
missing-
torso, shoulders, arms, hands.
Okay.
So no legs, just to be clear.
Yeah, right, exactly. Waist down, no. The coroner, this is what's just kind of eerie. The coroner's report reveals that she had been thoroughly cleaned before being placed in the trash can.
Somebody was possibly expert level and wanted to make sure that there wasn't going to be any DNA found on her.
That is something, that is a hypothesis that they tumble around in their
And I'm
investigative
just going to
brains.
do a little tumbling myself right now and think the first thing that occurs to me is experienced killer / serial killer.
Yeah, that was actually where the police immediately go to too.
Wow, that's
But
just me.
We'll get there.
Everything but the badge right here.
We'll get. I've been through it all. Just haven't been badged. Additionally, there are visible signs of strangulation on her neck, and the dismemberment.
That's a bad bit of evidence to leave behind. So
Sure
now I'm
is.
not worried that the person isn't as experienced as I thought they were because
now you're
you would have
questioning,
cut that
right?
piece of evidence off.
Right. They have this visible signs of strangulation, right? But also they can tell that the dismemberment had happened just below the ribs using what they believe to be an electric saw.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I mentioned this because this is
that's
important.
more efficient.
Yeah, this is important information in terms of like who are we really targeting for who could have done this, right? So given the methodical nature in which her remains were found, the police initially speculated that the crime was the work of a serial killer, like you did initially as well. Meanwhile, the U.S. State Department has to inform Karina's father, Ola, back in Sweden, that his daughter's never coming home.
Awful.
And I have to tell you, if her mother was around in this situation, I couldn't find American reports of it. And her mom hasn't openly spoken with a lot of media personalities enough for me to have got that information. So I am not intentionally leaving out her mother if she was in her life at this time. It's just simply what I could find written in in the American media on this case. So, of course, her father is devastated, but also just never wanting to give up hope that this case could be solved. One thing that's consistent from all the media coverage is that he truly wanted the world to know about her light and her adventurous spirit and like what a beautiful soul she was. And I know it's cliche here in this true crime era that we live in now where they're like, oh, they light up a room and stuff like that. But no, you guys, everything that he said about his daughter speaks to her light. And I just want everyone to remember her that way and to know that.
You said at the beginning she was that whole wanderlust piece, that she was adventurous, and you just get that from her life and how she lived
the
it.
minute you win a little bit of money, you're like, oh, I'm going to travel with this. That is wanderlust. Absolutely. The police are informing him, of course, that she's gone, that they haven't, they're working on leads, but they're thinking it might be a serial killer at this point in time. But the behavioral science unit was actually brought in to provide insights. And they suggest to investigators that the way that she was dismembered really wasn't a methodical work of necessarily someone who's done this before, but so much so is someone who thought that it would actually make the remains easier to dispose of given the size of the bin and whatnot that she was put in.
So they felt this was more of a necessity situation and not a planned.
Right. Which is where your question earlier of, wait a second, if this is a serial killer, why did they leave evidence of strangulation when they didn't need to?
Especially taking the time to clean the body so efficiently. You can be a novice and know that there's going to be DNA, so you try to clean it.
Right. And I also think that I'll just throw this out there right now. The other extremities have never been found.
Really?
And
so there's a set of legs that's never been found.
Or someone took it home with them.
Oh.
And I actually think the most important part of the evidence is that there is an entire genitalia area that has never been found. That's probably where the DNA is at. That's my speculation, but I just think that is a big part of why. But why make sure that half is never found, but the torso is left to be found?
They couldn't carry it off.
Maybe. You're right.
But legs would be, I'm sorry to be so graphic, but legs are really hard to carry off too. You would assume they would have, been in a vehicle of some kind, but if they only had a certain number of bags to put things in, I don't know. None of it actually makes sense to me.
It doesn't. Like, why?
Yeah, if you had the means of getting rid of the lower half,
Correct.
Why not just do that to the rest of it?
Yes, exactly. Other than maybe having a small bit of wanting her to be found and recognized and see it in the news.
Or he wasn't done with it.
I was just, thank you. A significant sexual deviant who took the two parts of her body that he could derive pleasure from. So you, and that's where our minds go now.
So fucking you, and also true crime. Mm-hmm.
And wherever he is someplace, I hope that someone cut his penis off and shoved it down his throat. Yeah. And we won't maybe ever find him because karma already got him.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
that
makes me feel, doesn't it feel good?
That feels karmically justified. Good. Yeah. Look at us. Well, why weren't we in charge of the universe?
Well, there's still time. My next life, it's going to be an interesting one.
I am still working on that. Oh, in next life, I'm not going to be a public servant. I will tell you that much. No. I've done my time serving humanity. Anyway.
I want to make a comment so bad right now, but this is a general audience episode, so I'm going to leave it alone, and I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Okay.
Join Patreon for...
correct.
Oh,
Please do.
good Lord. Anyway, so they lack... The behavioral science unit is like, listen, we think that the way that her body was cut up was simply for convenience to dispose of her. And then they said that the lack of other signs of violence on her body indicates a perpetrator that might have been an actual first-time offender.
You already convinced me that that's possible. It's the ligature mark on the neck that tips me off to that. There's just no way an experienced killer would have done that.
No. And like you said, a novice can figure out maybe I'll wash the body to get rid of any, potential fingerprint.
Anybody
or
that's
DNA.
ever watched a true crime show or listens to us is going to know to do that.
That's true. So let me tell you though, suspicion actually first goes to Frank Rabb, her employer.
It would to me as well.
Because
I'm getting a search warrant. I want to see every picture, all his negatives, everything weird that this guy has ever taken a photo of or saved.
Yes, absolutely.
No offense, Frank, if you're not the killer, but I want to know if I'm a cop.
Of course you do. And I mean, you invited a foreign au pair into your home. So sure. Like, what if...
Beautiful Swedish au pair.
And what if things went sideways and you didn't want her to tell your wife? I don't know. Just speculating. That's not really that's not what happens.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, if you're an investigator, you've got to look at all these angles.
That is where your brain goes.
And really, just weeks before this happened, Karina had actually wrote a letter to her family and friends and expressed a desire to return home in August when the kids returned back to school, ultimately cutting her trip short. She wasn't going to come back originally in August.
Right. Maybe travel a little bit in the States. So that's interesting that she's not wanting to stay. It makes me feel like maybe something happened.
Or it's because she's in Massachusetts.
Well, I don't know about Dover. Maybe it's a great place.
Well, the East Coast is beautiful. There's a lot to do, a lot to see. It's very historic.
But this is her first time to the U.S., so maybe she does want to spread her wings. But
check out Delaware, maybe.
I would think. Don't be a dick to Delaware. Seriously.
Oh my God. Don't be a dick to Delaware.
It's the best place to incorporate the taxes.
Tell me that they're going to put that on a T-shirt. Just don't be a dick about Delaware.
I think it's their state slogan.
Yeah.
It should be.
Don't be a dick to Delaware.
She mentions in a letter to a friend that, quote, something terrible had happened. But she did not explain in the letter. She just promised to explain in person when she got home. Again, why they first turned to her employer, right?
Yeah.
So she also complained about heavy housework that she was required to do that she had not anticipated would be a part of her taking this job. Now, Karina's sister, Joanna, or it's Joanna, however they want to pronounce it. It's pronounced differently here in the U.S. We put the emphasis in different parts. Said that if Karina was unhappy about anything, she actually hadn't told her sister.
Okay.
So her sister, it was just this one friend that she wrote this letter to and had said, something happened. I'll tell you about it when I get home.
This could be anything from the something bad with the dad.
Yes.
Or the artist's mom, who maybe created a weird work of art with her body. Just throwing that out there.
And she's only 20 years old, you guys. It could have been something very minuscule.
Anyway, that's where my mind went. And then it could have been a boy problem, you guys.
Sure could have.
She could have got herself in trouble with a boy, for example.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I mean trouble, like with quotes, trouble.
Right.
You know?
And
like
here's...
old-fashioned 1950s
Yes, that's exactly
trouble.
what I was... I knew exactly what you're talking about. Because I'm like,
Right.
she had to go out and buy a plan B or some shit.
Which didn't exist in 96.
And then that part of her body's missing also. We'll just keep
Like,
that.
did someone else...
Right.
Did someone...
I don't know.
I thought that too. Like,
Did
they
she
took
get...
that because maybe
so
there's
now
something...
I have 3 suspects in my own brain. I have her boss is, plural, either of them an unknown man who caused problem with her, as they do, as they will.
As they will. She could have gotten
worst.
in the... What's it
We
called?
are.
Like, getting in the way. Like when you befall pregnancy. And
When it becomes upon you.
Yes, when it just happens
Because it comes upon you.
Mm-hmm.
It happens.
Yeah, because it comes up. Yep.
Mary?
Now, her employers, though, tell the police that she seemed happy enough with her job, and they didn't have any complaints about her Or had she brought them any concerns or complaints?
Maybe we jumped too fast to the conclusion that it was an employment problem.
Well, when the investigators look at Frank, and they actually asked the other au pairs that they've had, okay?
Is Frank a dog?
Many describe him as being weird. All right? That's just in quotes. Weird.
What's that feel like, Jason?
Sure. Like
It's like when you're dumb, it only affects other people.
so
You don't even know it. It's just everyone else notices but you.
that is exactly it. I think that's what's going on with Frank.
Okay.
He's weird and doesn't know that he's the weird one.
Yes.
Okay? But some of the other au pairs were like, he did seem particularly close with Karina. And some hinted that his behavior towards her seemed inappropriate, mentioning that he had given her access to his photography studio, which is something that he hadn't given the other ones that maybe weren't Swedish and
Pose
gorgeous.
for me. Paint my picture, Jack.
But this was before Titanic.
Oh.
Right. And also,
Paint
he's
me
not
like
the
one
painter.
of your French girls, Jack.
Take
is
a
the
Not
quote.
before
Take
the
a
actual
picture.
Titanic, just before the movie.
Correct. Just before Leo
Clarify for everyone.
and Kate, yes, in actual Titanic.
I think you have to consider.
He's not the painter. He's the photographer.
Okay,
so
fine.
it's
But you have to take
snap my picture like one of your French girls, Jack. Yeah.
I'm always going to take into account and take seriously, though, how he made another person feel.
Yeah.
So if he made other girls feel that way and they notice things, there's something to be said for a gut feeling. At least something for you to weed out.
I think the other au pairs just might have been a little bit jealous that
Okay,
Frank took
fair
a
enough.
liking and allowed her in the studio. And actually, the night of the murder, all of her friends come to the studio and they all got dressed together in the studio and headed out. Now, I don't have information that Frank was taking any other pictures while it was happening. I think she
They're
was
not
just
to their knowledge.
no, she was just using
sorry,
that
Frank.
space.
I'm not.
I don't know if
I don't
Frank did
know you,
anything
Frank.
wrong.
Everyone says you're a weirdo. I
And
don't
then
trust you.
things get a little weirder for Frank and Susan.
They do?
They do, because just weeks after Karina Holmer's death, a large fire was actually reported. It was a dumpster fire. A literal dumpster fire happened.
I know him.
Right.
Not like the Cleveland Browns, like an actual
Like a
dumpster
real
fire.
Actual, not exactly, a real one. It was a real dumpster that was on fire that has set the tone for how we describe other things, like the Cleveland Browns, 100% football team, for those of you not in the U.S. But it was located near Frank and Susan's condo. So, of course, it draws suspicion of like, why is this dumpster on fire? What's it burning?
Yeah. Is the rest of her in it?
Yeah, and they do thoroughly investigate the scene and find nothing. It was deemed just an arson
I have
situation.
to agree, because there has to be a really significant level of heat to get rid of bone
Oh
fragment.
yeah.
Okay.
That's not just,
Oh,
not
yeah,
just a little
you
gas
guys.
fire.
Yeah.
No.
Her skull and legs are not in there. They would have found it.
If only people understood the inferno that has to happen to actually get rid of bones and teeth.
Right. Go talk to your local crematorium.
Yes. They could.
And it still doesn't get rid of all the
information. It
shards. If you've ever cared to look into a loved one's urn before,
Right.
which I would never do.
doesn't. Clearly, you know nothing about that.
Right.
So, about being the weird one in the room, but you don't know it. Megan.
I know it. I know it.
So here's the thing, though. The couple do have solid alibis. Okay. Now, whether they paid somebody off to tell, to confirm it, I don't know, guys. I'm not them, but
That's not a solid alibi to me, though. If it's a one other person, like, I need more than that. Where were they?
What I could find was that they do have a solid alibi, and eventually Frank drops off the list of people of interests.
Okay.
Yeah. Nope, they don't. They can't connect anything.
So we are sorry, Frank, at least
Horseshit.
at this point. I mean, it's unsolved, so you can
It is
keep
unsolved.
the skepticism, but
For
he
sure.
did come off the POI list.
He did.
So.
He did. Now, at this point now, they're asking for witnesses to come forward. Like, the only people that we can track that actually know her, right, have alibis, and we can't tie them. So any witnesses want to come forward? Well, some do, but it's not helpful. As a matter of fact, it just convolutes this case even more.
It's harmful.
And I don't know what the truth is. That's what's crazy about this. So One witness comes forward and says that they saw Karina leaving the nightclub with an older man. All right?
This is good information, one would think.
Sure is. But then another one was like, she didn't leave the nightclub with an older man. I saw her literally, quote, bouncing around an alley near the nightclub when she left.
Why are you bouncing around an alley?
Just like happy. I don't know. Are you singing a show tune?
Just dips into an alley. He's like,
I'm
so happy.
I'm not sure.
I was happy.
Perhaps.
I don't like that one. That one doesn't seem legit and really quite weird.
Well,
Was she hopped up on something?
They said she appeared to be intoxicated and she was complaining.
I don't hop when I'm drunk. I fall.
Oh, I do.
She's
I
20.
hop.
She's 20.
She's 20.
Oh, so she didn't piss her pants.
And I'm
No,
a bouncy
probably
little
not.
ball of energy when I'm drunk.
I was described as a Tigger once before. I definitely can be bouncy.
Yeah,
but
remember,
I'm
she's 20.
We're
We're not talking about your breasts, Megan. We're talking about Karina.
Don't even have to bounce.
So she was complaining. This witness said she was literally bouncing around the alleyway, appeared intoxicated, and was complaining about her friends abandoning her. Okay, which I can totally see.
Okay.
A 20-year-old at 3 a.m. being like, my friends are such dicks.
Why can't both of those people be right?
Well,
Why can't they have seen her bouncing around crazy in the alley, hyped up on something? Maybe she had a little E with her tequila. And
The
there was
second
also a
one
man.
never saw the older man, is the thing. The first witness was like, no, she was normal and she left with an older man. The second one was like, oh, I saw that girl. She was intoxicated, complaining about her friends, and she was bouncing around the alley.
One of them has the wrong person. One of them saw the
Exactly.
wrong person.
Well, there's more. Hold on.
Well, there's a lot of people in the nightclub. I'm interested in this piece.
According to one of her friends, Karina had told her that she had an older man and they were going to go to an after hours party. So here we have an older man mentioned twice, one from a friend and one from a witness. Okay?
Okay.
The man who had taken Karina to the nightclub on the night of her murder informed investigators that he actually, and this is just a friend, okay? She's not dating this guy, anything like that.
And
Remember,
he's not an older man. This is
he's
just
not
a
an
guy
older man.
friend.
No, this is just part of her friend group. He said, listen, I was threatened by two men outside the nightclub as I was trying to take Karina home. He said that Karina was sitting inside a car with two men in the early morning hours.
Why did you let that happen, sir?
He said that hold on, we'll get to it. He said he leaned into the car and said, let's go, you come with us, referring to himself and the other group of friends that he was with. And he told investigators that one of the men replied with, quote, get away from my car, you little bitch, I'll crush your fucking head, end quote.
I love Boston.
And I don't know what Karina was saying. I don't know if she was so intoxicated that she was just like, no, it's good. I'm going with these guys.
Yeah.
No idea. But then other witnesses said, oh, yeah, we watched her throughout the night. She became progressively more intoxicated throughout the evening, and then she passed out at the bar.
What the fuck?
This is what I mean by these witnesses coming forward, you guys.
Does she look
didn't
like
help.
every tall blue-eyed blonde in the whole world? Like, are there
No.
5 of her in there?
I
Was this a Swedish nanny club?
I don't know, but people are
No,
clearly.
you can't go there.
I was like, is that a thing?
No.
Yeah, your sister's going to work there.
And also, you're married now.
I need a nanny.
No, you don't. Your child is an adult.
I have cats.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's what your wife is for. She nannies them.
You wait till the brain bath.
But you know what? You need a handler. I can tell you that.
That's what we do. He
I know.
already has 2.
I know, and I'm tired, Megan.
Well, neither one of you are Swedish.
It's my night off.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I am blonde with blue eyes. What more do you want?
Well,
I'm a bottle blonde with green eyes. I'm clearly Irish. I'm not Swedish. I can't help you there. You're Irish too.
I know. That was what was funny. He didn't even pick up on it.
2 Irish girls and a Polak walk into a room.
And create a podcast.
I'm actually not being rude. He's Polish.
yeah,
He
it's
is,
okay.
yes.
I don't even take offense to that anymore.
That actually was extremely historically accurate.
Potatoes and pierogies coming at you live.
So much. God, I love me some potatoes. But that's not what we're talking about. Anyway, So this is what this bartender's like, yeah, she got intoxicated. She passed out in the bar.
Bartender likely to be more sober. I mean, unless you're in one of those bars where they're constantly taking shots like Coyote Ugly.
And maybe Zanzibar is. I don't know. Never been there. Kind of want to go.
Well, it's just research at this point. We should go.
We should. We really should. They reported that she passed out on the bar, so they woke her up and asked her to leave.
Yes.
Which is what you do at 3 a.m.
You don't serve drunk people and you get them out.
And here in Michigan, 2 a.m. is when the bars have to close.
Yes.
So the fact that she was last seen, every one of these witnesses can confirm it was about 3 a.m. that she's leaving. Now you understand there's a lot of conflicting stories, you guys, regarding her departure, her actual, how did she leave this nightclub? So the investigators get the CCTV footage.
Okay.
It's 1996.
So it's
This
kind
is
of
not high definition.
Probably
Yes.
the club has one camera up outside it in the back door, and maybe the neighbor or maybe the bank across the street has one.
Yeah, it's not great.
Okay.
The footage potentially shows Karina's departure. There's a grainy image of somebody who looked like her speaking to a man estimated to be in his 40s.
Oh, old. Very old. Old
Yeah.
man.
Listen,
Gross.
the witnesses that are 20 years
I
old,
know.
I
Some
know.
old dude.
I know.
And now it's you. You're the old dude.
It hurts. It physically hurt when I read this and then had to regurgitate it into my notes and was like, oh, older man, 40s. Okay. The footage, this is the cute thing though. This isn't our guy. I have to tell you about this guy.
Okay.
The footage suggested that the man may have offered Karina a ride.
Oh, so he's a good Samaritan.
Well,
At 3 a.m.
you
Come
will-
here, sweetie. You need a
Listen.
ride?
Jason, if you left the bar right now and you're in your 40s and there was a girl, your daughter's age, clearly drunk, not doing well, falling down that you felt was a danger or that could potentially be somebody's victim, would you make sure she was okay and ask her if she needs help? Do you need a ride? Do you need me to call someone? Right?
Let's get you an Uber.
I think that might be this guy. They didn't have Ubers in
Cabs, they
1996.
had cabs there.
It is this guy. I have more about him I've got to tell you.
Okay,
that's going to
please
make
do.
you fall in love with him.
Okay.
He was
I
walking
have
his
enough
dog.
boyfriends.
I have enough boyfriends. I can't fall in love with another one.
My heart doesn't have room.
He was spotted walking his dog near the bar, and it's about 40 minutes away from Karina's residence.
He has an asshole dog that wanted to pee at 3 a.m.
He does.
Probably a little dog.
He really does. Well, I think so because
Boston Terrier.
him and his dog, you guys, they're wearing matching Superman t-shirts. He dresses his dog like himself. He's either, yes, a serial killer or not at all.
No. He was at a different
He
nightclub.
doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't. He's not interested in her.
No, isn't it adorable?
I love him already, and I
though?
think it's great. If that was truly her, that he tried to offer help. And he might have given us a main solid clue because he wasn't at the bar. He wasn't partying or drinking. He's legit walking his asshole dog, which happens.
He had
Yes.
his dog woke him up, or not, didn't wake him up, but interrupted his late night PlayStation sessions.
For sure.
He was
And
game-
he's
he was
like,
gaming.
listen, if
He
we
was
have to go out
gaming.
at 3 a.m., we're at least going to pretend to be Superman
Right.
because he's the only one who should be out at 3 a.m. fighting crime that's out there.
Superman
So
couldn't save her.
the CCTV footage shows her talking to a man with a dog. Now, this man is well known in the area around Zanzibar. He lives around there, and he dresses his dog in the same way he dresses himself. So, of course, people know who
exactly
he is.
who that is. Mm-hmm. He
So-
was notorious,
He
if not
was.
infamous.
And investigators go to him, and he absolutely admits to speaking with her. And he says, but he did offer to give her a ride home because he could see she was intoxicated.
Okay.
She declined, and so he went home that night
With his tiny little Superman dog.
with his little dog. Now, here's the thing. At some point in time, and this is the connections I couldn't make, and I apologize because you're going to be like, Charnell, I thought you called yourself a researcher. No, I'm a social worker. I tried my best.
Charnell, I thought English was your first language.
Absolutely not. It's mostly sarcasm and gibberish. Okay. But at some point in time in the night, he was in a vehicle and he was pulled over and he was given a speeding ticket, which I'm sure at the time he was probably like, fuck the luck, I got a speeding ticket. But it's actually
Are we talking about Superman?
We are. Superman who was walking his dog in the area. I'm openly admitting I don't know what the connection is because I was picturing this guy leaving his apartment, walking his dog like you guys were. But
now I'm scared he took his dog home and went and found her and her legs and had her in his trunk.
Nope.
Dog ate it.
It was a little dog. It did not.
The speeding ticket, no, that's true. That happens. But the speeding ticket that he got actually helps provide an alibi to eliminate him from the person of interest list. Just because he was seen on the CCTV footage as talking to her, which put him as a person of interest, he was then issued a speeding ticket. A police officer saw his vehicle, saw him, saw the dog. There's no blood, there's no body, there's no...
Okay, at least in the compartment of his car, but they've probably determined, was it close enough in time at this point that she wouldn't have been able to have been disposed of yet?
Right.
Okay.
The speeding ticket actually helps him not only match the timeline of his night that he provides in detail and willingly cooperates with the investigation.
Did they get a time of death from her remains, or do we not know?
No, if it, I'm sure it was. It's not being released. Remember, this is an unsolved case.
It is.
So not all the details are going to be released.
Because I think I keep assuming in my little brain here that she was kidnapped immediately. Something terrible happened to her. She was cut up and immediately put in a dumpster. And I keep forgetting that she wasn't even found.
She wasn't even found for 2 days
Sunday.
later.
She could have been taken well away from that place.
And I'm going to pose this, you guys. Yeah. The person who found her opened that dumpster, not being able to smell her. He opened the dumpster and was surprised she was there.
This is summer in Boston, right?
It is June 21st.
This is good to point out because Boston gets cold. This isn't winter, though.
No.
This is summer
Midsummer.
in Boston.
It's June 21st. Yes.
They're going to recognize states of decomp, too. Even though all of her wasn't there, you're going to be able to take bug activity and that smell and putrefaction.
The smell obviously wasn't so bad that it deterred this man from opening this dumpster who was looking for cans. Okay? So that's going to give us an indication as well. Just us laymen people, right?
That was Sunday.
It was Sunday. Exactly.
And Friday's night is when she went
Friday
missing.
night.
Saturday morning.
Technically early.
Saturday morning.
3 a.m. Yep. Saturday morning, the 22nd, is technically the last time she was seen.
So she would have had to have spent over 24 hours in that dumpster.
Yeah, I don't think she was dead that long.
I don't think so either.
That's my point. I don't think that she was either.
Thanks for walking my
somewhere
brain
else.
through that.
Yep.
Okay.
So the speeding ticket that he gets,
Makes
right,
sense.
is like, that's how they're like, oh no, I mean, she wasn't with him. This is after we saw him on the CCTV footage. It lines up with him saying, yeah, I offered her a ride. She did not take one.
Okay.
Most people also, who, by the way, who murdered somebody probably wouldn't admit to the police, yeah, I spoke with her. I offered her a ride. Right? Like,
I mean, it depends on how you're approached. If some police officers aren't as talented at others at keeping things, like I saw you on CCTV,
Right.
did you have contact with her? And then you're not going to deny it.
right. Like, I mean, I hope not. I hope they didn't say that. That would be terrible investigatory skills.
Right.
And so, anyway, he is cleared of any involvement of Karina's death.
Just like Frank.
Okay, yes, just like Frank. I have more on him later. So the investigation obviously began with very little evidence, and it goes cold within the first few weeks. The only piece of actual evidence that they have was a partial fingerprint that was discovered on a plastic bag that her upper torso was found in. When it was run through the national database, there's no match.
So now we're sure if we don't have a novice, we have an expert that's real good because they've never been caught. So that's not an NCIS.
Charnell, you have to delete all of the talk about her not having a head. So swabs of her mouth and fingernails reveal nothing. It doesn't help them at all. And at this point in time, you guys think about it. They don't even know where the murder occurred. They don't have a location.
We have
have a head, a neck, arms, hands, and a torso in a dumpster. That's all we have. And so,
wouldn't this be weird? I'm just throw this out there, like some weird episode of Bones where there was like some accidental, like not a decapitation, but like she got like cut in half somehow.
Did she fall asleep on the corner in the morning, the street sweeper truck ran her over.
Or she fell asleep, or somebody tossed her in the dumpster, and then like she got somehow. I don't know. It's probably not possible, but I'm throwing it out there. Like I watched enough Bones to know weird shit happens.
At this point in time, nothing is out of the realm of possibilities, other than the CCTV footage didn't show any of that stuff. But what if it was on a street that they hadn't, that they didn't look at the footage and that no one did? So what then?
Was there a terrible accident someplace or in the bar and somebody like tried to dispose of her? And
Right. And the police are like, listen, the reason this went cold is because we don't have a boyfriend we can look at. There's no suspect, which means everyone's a suspect.
Correct.
And it's so true. In investigations like this, it's really, really difficult.
But there were strangulation marks.
There was strangulation. And so let me get to that. Because in December of 1996, a man named Gregory Hummel is arrested after attacking a woman that he picked up at the same nightclub, Zanzibar.
Maybe we don't want to go to Zanzibar.
Okay.
I don't think so.
It sounds like we don't. Maybe you're right.
It sounds so familiar to me too.
I know, me too. But also, I do feel like most nightclubs could potentially be a place for perpetrators.
Yeah.
So, you take your life in your own hands if you go to a nightclub anyway. All right. So this Gregory Hummel, he picks a woman up at Zanzibar. He takes her back to his apartment where he assaults her and sexually and physically assaults her. He punches her in the face and he sexually assaults her. She managed to lock herself in his bathroom with his mobile phone to call the police. So they're saying, we're not identifying him as a suspect, the police are saying, but he's someone that we're interested in talking to. So this investigation uncovers that the attack on this woman wasn't the only time that Gregory had done something similar. He frequently picked women up outside of nightclubs and then proceeded to attack them sexually and physically.
Oh, so he's a great guy.
Mm-hmm. While it appeared as though he could have been a much-needed lead in this case, he was actually ruled out from Karina's.
Was he assaulting someone else that night?
Well, he had an alibi.
Did he, though?
A corroborated alibi. He did. I couldn't find exactly what it was. I was kind of hoping that it was maybe he was doing jail time, and so that's how we know.
That would be a really good alibi.
I didn't
really
find
the best
that.
alibi
The
you
best
can
kind.
have.
It is.
I was in jail.
I was in jail that night.
It's really the saving grace sometimes that going to jail has for you.
I was finding Jesus.
Mm-hmm. So
he's under jail beds, Jason.
Is he?
He
I
apparently,
hear it a lot.
because
That's
a
a
lot of people find him in prison.
Fair enough.
Okay, so he's ruled out. This Gregory guy is ruled out. Now, keep in mind, he just likes to physically assault women and then sexually assault them. To our knowledge and the police's knowledge, he hadn't actually got to the point of murdering and dismembering. But
Right. He's like, I really hope you tell on me.
the man with the dog,
Yes.
his name was Herbert Witten.
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
It had to have
Of
been.
course it was.
Herbert.
And his lawyer, all right, reminds the public, he was never publicly identified as a suspect. Okay, he's a person of interest because he was seen on CCTV footages talking to her. But he was not...
Also known as a witness.
But not a suspect.
Right.
He fell into a deep depression.
Oh, no.
Following his indirect involvement, it really tore him up that the police were questioning him.
You're going to break my heart.
Yes.
God bless it.
That the police were questioning him, that he had made contact with her, that she had declined his ride home. And in January of 1997, he actually takes his own life.
That's awful.
It is.
And when the media is awful, too.
It
I'm
is.
sorry, but the media is awful.
And his lawyer says, quote, he was a decent guy who did have some problems, but he didn't do this.
No.
The investigators also have come forward and said, like the lead investigator, by the way, the homicide investigator, Thomas O'Leary, because of course his name is Thomas O'Leary in Boston. Why wouldn't it be?
Right.
Says absolutely he did not do it. He is not on the suspect list. Okay. So I just want to throw that out there that may he rest in peace. And this is sometimes the unintended consequences of interviewing someone or having contact like that.
We've had cases like that before.
We have. And so, no, he was I don't want people getting things twisted and thinking, oh, he killed himself because he did this. No, that is not what they believe. They have no reason to suspect that at all. It really tore him up that he had contact with her that night, that he had been...
couldn't save her.
Yeah, I think that's more of it than the fact that he was, questioned or a person of interest or anything like that. So eventually the months turn into years and leads dwindle to nothing. And despite an exhaustive investigation, her brutal murder still remains unsolved. Her father, Ola, has said over the years that his grief has gradually subsided, and they like to focus on Karina as the daughter that he lost, as opposed to the grim circumstances surrounding her death. There was, in the years following her death, no new evidence has emerged, but in 1999, during an investigation into the murder of Delina Lorna Mendez, some thought that there might be some similarities between the two cases and that maybe the same perpetrator could be involved. But to this day, we haven't found any links to that. So Karina's father continues to advocate for justice, but without any new leads. It's still unsolved. So the Dover, Boston Police Department is where you would call if someone gets drunk someday and tells you about how they murdered a Swedish girl that was 20 years old at Zanzibar, right? Just after leaving Zanzibar anyway, named Karina Holmer, call the Dover, Boston Police. Yes,
Yeah,
and that is her case.
Because I feel like, okay, so Dover is a suburb, 15 miles southwest of Boston in Norfolk County.
Yep.
Norfolk, as we've been told before.
We have. And I would like to publicly apologize for my co-host who continuously cracks his knuckles in the studio on this podcast, and it makes it very difficult for me to edit it out.
Yeah, Megan.
Yes, I outed you by your gender identity.
I identify as a she, so there's that. Do you want to give you a really wholesome brain bath that's just super adorable?
I want a wholesome brain bath after poor Karina's story. May she rest in peace.
This is direct from the Facebook, and a woman puts up just literally, you know how you can put signs up places? Wanted.
Okay, so this is really a wanted poster.
It is.
Okay.
To borrow an orange cat. Okay. Wanted to borrow an orange cat for 24 to 48 hours. To have a lasagna dinner with Garfield-loving 4-year-old and 2-year-old children. Will return cat happy and cared for. Cat will not be required to eat lasagna if contraindicated. Please, no feral cats, and please take your cat back at the end, not looking to adopt. Thank you. An increasingly desperate but not crazy mom of 2 with no friends who own orange cats. And then her number's on there for people.
I would never let someone borrow my cat.
No, you have an orange cat, don't you?
I am advertising a crazy, mean, hissing, feral calico cat for anybody that would like to borrow her for their terrorizing needs.
To make a lasagna out
for
of.
Halloween.
If you need your neighbor's hystat, if you want somebody to come over and get attacked, you want my cat for the weekend.
You need an ex to get the hell out of your house.
Absolutely.
Take this cat home.
Let me just tack on a good story about it. A cat.
Sure.
So as I was golfing the other day, I get a message from my wife, and there's a picture of my cat, my black cat Shadow, who's psychotic and not real friendly.
She's so tiny, though. She's so cute.
We have a nook in the brick at our fireplace, next to the fireplace, to store wood in.
Yes.
She likes to hang out in there.
Because it's probably warm.
Yes. And she looks like the nothing from Neverending Story.
Yes, you sometimes
like just the eyes. She has no idea what we're talking about.
I do. I have seen Neverending Story.
Never seen Neverending Story.
So anyway,
I really.
So she says somehow, like, I have plastic grocery bags to clean the litter box with.
Yeah, sure.
Apparently, one of them fell out of the storage bag that I keep them in. She wanted to play with it. She got stuck in it. In like the handle of the plastic bag, and was running through the house, bag attached to her torso.
I've been there.
Thrashing around, freaking out.
Yes.
The other cats are just watching like, what the fuck is she doing?
This unevolved
No, they're like, don't fucking touch her. Stay away from her.
And she got to the point, so she jumped into the
nook?
the wood storage nook and shat herself.
No!
In the plastic bag? She
Yes.
shat herself?
Yes. So I get home, and Nancy's like, hey, you need to check your cat. I said, you couldn't? She's like, nope, that's your cat.
Her cat pisses in the bathtub.
Yeah. So I had to, get this plastic bag. Well, she got the plastic bag off. She had put oven mitts on.
Oh, yeah, because she's mean.
Yeah.
Shadow, not your wife.
Right. No. My wife had to put oven mitts on to get this plastic bag off the cat. Then the cat ran off. And that's when she's like, your cat smells like shit. I think she pooped in the fireplace.
I have a couple of points.
She did, by the way. She totally did.
I have a couple of points on this. One, Shadow knew that those plastic bags were for cat poop.
Yeah.
It was attached to her. What's a girl supposed to do?
She was going to try to scoop her own.
Yeah, she was being thoughtful. I think you are misunderstanding this, sir. She wasn't scared, shatless. She just simply was being considerate and thought, I'll save him a step.
I've got the bag.
Right. Why go to the litter box? This is what this human puts it in anyway.
Shadow's also a dick. So
she's horrible.
I agree.
So she totally just freaked out and shat.
I love it.
Like panic shit.
Listen, I can't say.
Panic shit in a plastic bag in the fireplace.
Listen, you never know when you're going to shit yourself in a Michael's.
Words that are never strung together.
That's
My
right.
cat panic shit in a plastic bag in the fireplace.
I could see
I'm
Charnell
the first person to ever say that
getting
sentence.
stuck in a plastic garbage bag,
Right?
running around.
And then she's like, fuck it.
Trying to get away from the people.
Yeah.
Thinks she's in the bathroom.
That's what it felt like in Michael's when I was horrifically sick suddenly on accident. That line was like herding cattle.
Well, we went from wholesome to wholesome and real quick
to shat in the bag.
to some hole. There we go.
Yep. All I'm saying is I think you're judging Shadow a little too soonly. Soonly? That's a word.
There you go.
Right.
I told you English isn't my first language.
Soonly.
You know what?
Is that an adverb?
You know what, everybody?
Babe, when are you going to be home? Soonly.
Soonly. You know what, you guys? You go ahead and use that. Every one of you use it. Make it a thing now. And we hope that we'll see you soonly. And I don't even know how to end this.
You say keep it curious.
Oh, fine. Keep it curious.
And keep listening.
Till next time.
Which is soonly.
Which is soonly.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.